Hello friends, today we will be studying the osteological features of the ulnar bone. Now what we have here are the two ulnar bones of both the sides. We'll just randomly pick up one. Now ulna is the medial bone of the forearm. It's a typical long bone having upper end, shaft and lower end. Now what are the morphological features? The upper end shows two processes. Anteriorly, it shows the coronoid process, and superiorly as well as posteriorly, it shows the olecranon process. This pulley-like articular surface between these two surfaces contributed to by both these processes is the trochlear notch. The coronoid process has a superior surface which contributes to formation of the trochlea, a triangular anterior surface, a lateral surface which shows the radial notch superiorly and the supinator fossa inferiorly, which also ends at the supinator crest posteriorly. The medial surface of the coronoid process shows the ulnar tuberosity, and posterior to that is the triangular medial surface. So four surfaces of the coronoid process: superior, anterior, lateral and medial. While the olecranon process has got five surfaces: a superior surface, an anterior surface which contributes to formation of the trochlea, a triangular posterior surface, a triangular lateral surface just behind the supinator crest, and also a medial surface. Those are features of the upper end. Then we go on to see the shaft. The shaft has three borders and three surfaces. This here is the sharpest border, which is the lateral border. Then we have the rounded border, which is the medial border, and this here is the posterior subcutaneous border. So three borders: lateral, medial and posterior. So the three surfaces are anterior surface, posterolateral surface and posteromedial surface. The lower end shows the head of the ulna and the styloid process. These are the morphological features of the ulna. Now keeping these in mind, let us identify the side to which this ulna belongs. So the olecranon process is superior, the head is inferior, the coronoid process is anterior, while the olecranon process lies posteriorly. For medial and lateral, we see that the radial notch faces laterally, while the styloid process is posteromedial. So that tells us that this is ulna of the right side, and it's going to articulate with the radius bone on the lateral aspect. Now let us see the muscle attachments of this bone. The olecranon process here has three attachments on the superior surface. Anterior most is the capsule of the elbow joint, intermediate is a bursa, and posterior most is the insertion of triceps brachii muscle. While this triangular posterior surface of the olecranon process gives attachment to the enconeus muscle. We then go on to the coronoid process. This anterior triangular surface of the coronoid process gives attachment to brachialis. The ulnar tuberosity gives attachment to two muscles. Above is the attachment for the flexor digitorum superficialis, and below is attachment of the ulnar head of pronator teres. We then go to the supinator fossa and the supinator crest, which give attachment to the supinator muscle. We then move on to the anterior surface. The upper two-thirds of the anterior surface give attachment to the flexor digitorum profundus, while the lower one-third gives attachment to the pronator quadratus. Going on to the posterolateral surface. The posterolateral surface gives attachment to three muscles. The upper part gives attachment to abductor pollicis longus, the intermediate area to extensor pollicis longus, and the lower area to extensor indicis. The posterior subcutaneous border gives attachment to the aponeurotic common origin of three muscles, the flexor carpi ulnaris, the extensor carpi ulnaris, and the flexor digitorum profundus. These are all the muscle attachments of the ulna. Let us now see what are the joints formed by this bone. This bone forms four joints. It forms the humero-ulnar component of the elbow joint by the trochlear notch, which articulates with the trochlea of the humerus. And this elbow joint is a compound modified hinge type of a synovial joint. Along with the radius, it forms three radioulnar joints, superior, middle, and inferior. The superior radioulnar joint is a simple pivot type of synovial joint. The middle radioulnar joint is the interosseous membrane. It's a syndesmosis. And the inferior radioulnar joint is also a syndesmosis. So those are the four joints formed by the ulna. The lower surface of the head of the ulna is covered by a triangular articular disc, which is a ligament of the inferior radioulnar joint. And it is this disc which separates the ulna from the wrist joint, and that's why the ulna does not take part in formation of the wrist joint. Thus, we have seen the morphological features, side determination, muscles attached, and joints formed by the ulna bone. Thank you.